Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. And thanks to all those that serve. We appreciate your service and we are so grateful for you. We are so excited. This is our last series of our segment, Illumination Nonprofit. And we are highlighting today the Pet Alliance of Central Florida. So welcome, guys. This is Boots, and Boots is available for adoption. And I already warned Cathy, this is going to be very difficult for me to stay focused because they're just so adorable and I want to take every one of them home.
Yeah.
So welcome, Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi. Thank you for inviting us to be on. We're very excited to share what we do here at Pet Alliance with everybody who's viewing your live.
Thank you so much. So why don't you tell us, for those that aren't familiar with Pet Alliance, what you guys do and how you guys help the animals in Central Florida?
Sure. So here at Pet Alliance, we mainly do animal sheltering and adoption. So that's mostly what we're known for. We have 3 locations. We have 2 shelter locations and 3 veterinary clinic locations. So at our shelter locations, we take in owner-surrendered animals. So if for some reason somebody can no longer care for their animal, they can surrender them here. We do also, at this time of year, especially get lots of kittens. Cats having kittens or people sometimes finding them. And then we care for them in our shelter and make sure they're healthy, make sure they're fed, make sure they have a comfy place and they're receiving enrichment. And then we adopt them out to the community members, people who are looking for pets. So that's kind of our main service. We do some other outreach services as well. We have a pet food pantry. So especially these past couple months, we've seen a very high increase in need for people who need free pet food for financial reasons or other things that are going on in their lives. So we offer that service. We do TNR, which is kind of going out in the community and spaying and neuter those cats that live out in colonies and things like that to help reduce the number of homeless pets being born. And then we have veterinary clinics where we offer wellness exams for anybody who's a pet owner. They can come in and get their vaccines and all that good stuff as well. So that's kind of what we're known for, and we are a nonprofit organization. So we do all this because wonderful people in the community donate to us.
I hear someone in the background saying, oh, let's see that one, because I know everyone wants to. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'll take you home. Hi.
Oh, I was waving hello.
Hi, sweet. Again, I said I'm going to be very distracted. So this is the one that was meowing?
Yes.
Yeah, he was kind of running around and jumping around. So if you heard some noise in the background, that was this guy.
Salty.
Salty. All right. So Salty's available for adoption, guys. So make sure you call Pet Alliance. And let's talk a little bit about that, because obviously with COVID and the quarantines and the requirements there, tell us a little bit about how you're kind of navigating that environment with still adopting animals.
Sure. So basically for the month of April, we were pretty much completely shut down to the public. So our clinics were not operating. Our shelters, people could not surrender or adopt in person at that time. We did have a few animals. Then we had staff here taking care of them, but most of the animals went to foster homes. So we started doing virtual adoptions. So we still had animals available on our website, and if somebody was interested, they could set up a Zoom meeting, which we're also familiar with Zoom meetings nowadays. And you could virtually meet one of the pets, whether it was here or in a foster home, and you could kind of do a meet and greet. And if you thought you wanted to adopt the pet, we would send all the paperwork to you and everything would be taken care of. So really the only interaction you'd have with other people was through when you picked up the animal. So we were able to adopt out probably, I think it was, I want to say it was 150 animals since the beginning of April, which is wonderful. Normally, in a normal month, we adopt out about 500 animals. So it was definitely a lot less, but we were very happy that we were still able to find these animals homes despite everything that was going on. We're starting to open up a little bit more. You can schedule appointments to come in and meet animals online. We still haven't opened the doors so people can just walk in. And our clinics are operating in a more limited capacity though too. So we're
Right.
starting to open up like everybody else.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Wow. So tell us a little bit about, you'd mentioned the pet food pantry. So talk to me through a little bit about that and those that are struggling that, of course, animals become children, right? I mean, they're a part of your family. And obviously in times of crisis, people have found themselves struggling with the pet food. So talk a little bit about what you guys offer in terms of that.
Sure. And we basically offer free bags of pet food. We offer 1 bag per pet. We've been operating this program for nearly 20 years, this pet food pantry. And on a typical month, in January, let's say, we would normally have 10 to 15 animals that we would take care of. Starting in April, we started serving up to 100 animals per week. So it really skyrocketed the amount of need that was out there. We put the call out to the community and they definitely answered that call. We've received so many donations of bags of food. I think the UPS drivers and FedEx drivers are not exactly thrilled with us having to bring all that food in, but definitely people answered that call and we've been able to supply that food to people in need. They merely just need to call and make an appointment to come in, and then we provide them with a bag of food. We did in 1 day curbside pickup. We kind of put the call out to everybody. If you came on this 1 day, we'd be set up and just put it in your trunk. And we, over the course of 2 hours, gave away 15,000 pounds of food. So that's a lot of need. Yeah.
That is a lot of need. I mean, and what I found through this nonprofit series is that I was, my goal and objective obviously was to make notice in the community of these nonprofits that do amazing things. And I was so worried that they were going to be struggling like your organization. And it seems that people have just like rallied around what they're passionate about and giving more.
Yeah, we had such a wonderful outpouring of support, and it's been so nice to see because people want to help, and when they see the need and they still have the ability to do so, they want to. So it's really been very heartwarming, not only for our organization, but I've seen so many other organizations really receiving the extra support right now. So it's great.
It's amazing. I mean, my heart is just so full. And of course, looking at these cute little adorable animals, it's just overflowing right now with just love and everything. I mean, tell me a little, this virtual adoption thing is just so neat. I mean, because you probably had never thought about doing that before.
No, not really, because we really counted on people just walking into the shelter. We're very high volume. Like I said, normally about 500 animals a month, over 6,000 a year get adopted. And it's because 7 days a week, people can walk into our shelter and see all the animals and adopt them. So we hadn't really thought about virtual adoptions, but the staff quickly realized, okay, we have these animals, but we still need to find them homes, even though people can't come in, and they, figured out a way to do it, which was fantastic. So it definitely helped to make sure these animals found homes as quickly as possible, because that's the most important thing to us, is making sure they get to a home. We don't want them in the shelter. We don't want them in a temporary home. It's wonderful that the fosters are doing that, but we want them all to find their permanent homes.
Absolutely. So on average, like how many cats and then how many dogs do you have right now currently in the shelter approximately?
In the Orlando shelter, this is a guesstimate because I actually, I don't know for sure, but I would say we probably have maybe around 20 cats in here. And I think dogs, it's probably about 4 or 5 in the shelter. Like I said, a lot of them are in foster homes right now. And because we haven't been doing intake, or we just started allowing people to surrender animals again. So we haven't had any new animals come in for a while, but we're just starting to do that again as well.
Right. And when we originally talked, you talked about the kit, like it's cat, how did you describe it? It's like kitten season. So what would you say? Yeah. So what would you say would be a good thing for people if they're out and about and they see a litter of kittens or, something like that? What would be, oh, hi.
Oh, come on. This is our executive director, Steve.
Hi, how are you? What would you say to the public, just because I know that was something that you talked passionately about? So
sure. So it is kitten season. It's that time of the year where more kittens are born. And you may come across a litter of kittens or a single kitten somewhere out there, under a tree or in a bush, or you might hearing little meows coming from somewhere. The number one thing we tell people is don't pick those kittens up right away. Just stay and watch. Immediately you see these little kittens, and you just want to pick them all up, put them in a shoebox, and bring them to the shelter. If they're out there in the wild and their mom is taking care of them, that is the most, that is the safest place for them to be. They're most likely to survive if they're with their mom. So if you pick them up and bring them to the shelter, they need to be bottle fed, they need to be hand fed, things like that. So they're much better off with the mom. So we tell people to wait and watch. So wait and watch and see if the mama cat comes back. She might move them. She might have been out getting food. If you, after a few hours, don't see a mama cat come back, or if they're really scraggly or dirty or skinny, then there may not be a mom around. So that would be the time where you could safely pick them up and call us or call Orange County to kind of find out what you can do. So it's really the watch and wait, because we want the kittens to survive, and if they're with their mom, that's more likely to happen. If not, we have lots of foster volunteers. If you come in with a kitten, the first question we'll ask you is, can you foster? We can provide you all the supplies, but they need to be 8 weeks of age and at least 2 pounds before we can put them up for adoption.
Got it. You want to show us some of your animals that are available for adoption, so people can come with a few options. So
walk around and show you a few.
Salty.
Oh, hi, Salty. Oh, you are so cute. So cute. Oh, I can see that one getting on top of the cabinets and everything.
Yeah.
This is Joey.
Hi, Joey.
The little purr. He's 2 years old. And it looks like he was surrendered due to HOA landlord issues. So he's looking for a nice home.
Oh, so sweet, Joey. Anybody wants to adopt Joey, call the Pet Alliance. You can make a virtual appointment.
And this is Kimmy, our little orange lady.
Oh, hi,
Little Ginger.
Hi.
And for the dog lovers out there, we're getting to them. It looks like Patches just went into shelter medical. And then we've got... That's pretty much all we have outside of this little
guy. So the little story with this kitten. So apparently a landscape architect was working on a job and kept hearing meowing and couldn't find the cat, and then realized it was coming from a wall, and actually knocked down a wall and found a little kitten in the wall.
Oh
so
my gosh.
So it's amazing all these stories we hear. But he saved him, brought him in, and now he's being cared for. And you can see, I'm sure we'll not have a problem finding a home.
Nope, not at all. I mean, perfect lap cat. Perfect lap.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So I'm gonna put him back in this little cage, and then we can walk through over to the dog area.
Yeah. And we have actually one more cat over here on her little nest.
Oh,
I'm not quite sure what her name is because she probably just came in today, but let's see if we can get her.
Hi. Hi, baby.
It's a beautiful little calico.
Yeah, absolutely. All these great animals are up for adoption, so please make sure you make an appointment with the Pet Alliance.
Yeah. So we're gonna walk. So we're kind of gonna walk and talk, I guess. So.
Okay, wonderful. What sort of donations, like what would you say is your greatest need, and how could people donate?
So I'm sorry, there was an air conditioner.
Oh, that's okay. I was just asking, what is your greatest need in terms of donations right now?
Sure. Well, like we were saying, pet food, because we're giving out a lot of that. So if somebody wants to stop by and drop off a bag of pet food, we have donation bins outside of our locations, or you can just have it shipped directly to us. As always, financial donations are very, very much needed, just to make sure we have the resources in order to take care of our staff and take care of our facilities and things like that. We also take donations of just dog products, like bowls and things like that. So there's actually a whole wish list on our website that lists the things that we need right now. So that's a great place for people to go and look and see if there's something on there that they have or that they can donate.
Perfect. Perfect. I know it's going to be a little noisy, guys, for those watching. So see some little doggies.
Oh, I think they're all might be out.
Walk outside with the dog.
Okay. So guys, while Cathy's walking out to find the doggies, just a reminder, if you couldn't hear her, so she was saying that you can go to their website, the Pet Alliance website. They have a needs list on there. And then if you wanted to drop off food donations, you could do that. They have donation drop-off locations at the actual facility that you can drop off food for them. So just make sure if you want to donate and you feel that animals is your connection and your passion, please go ahead and donate to them.
Yes. And so the area we were just in was our dog kennels.
Okay.
In here as well, our pet food pantry. So this, you can see all this food. This is our pet food pantry. We have a ton of wet food. So the wet food is used for kittens. So we have all those foster kittens out there, and they utilize this, which is fantastic. And we have lots of wet dog food, but what we had put the call out for was more dry dog food because that's easier to give to people. But we do have wet food as well, but we have a storage area in here.
Perfect.
For all this food, so it's a lot of food that we can help people with.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And let's see if maybe we can show you a little bit of our veterinary area.
Okay, wonderful.
So
talk a little. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cathy.
I was just going to say what we do have here at Pet Alliance, which is very nice, is we actually have a shelter medical team. So we have an on-site veterinarian that's dedicated to only helping shelter animals. So not every animal shelter has that. And we are very lucky to have that. So any animal that comes in, if it has an injury or if it has some other medical issue, we can take care of that on site. So that's a very great resource for us.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So we can keep our head in there and see what they're up to. So this is kind of the area after they're done being treated. They'll come out here and wait. So this little guy's got having heartworm treatment. So we are able to take care of heartworm positive dogs.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Oh, I can hear the tail going back and forth.
I know, yeah. So these guys are just hanging out in here while they're getting their treatment.
Oh, yeah, because they have to stay with the heartworm. They have to stay isolated, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So, but once they're all cleared, these dogs would be up for adoption as well.
Yep, and some of these, they may actually already be adopted. So we do adopt them out if they're heartworm positive with the adopter with the knowledge that they'll have to bring them back in for treatment. And we provide all that treatment for free. It's very expensive if you have to do it on your own, but we provide it for them. So that encourages people to adopt the heartworm positive animals, knowing that we're going to pay for the treatment and take care of them. So it helps get more animals adopted, which is great.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I feel like so honored, and I'm so thankful that you were able to do this with me and anything. Is there anything that you want to add to, folks listening that might be able to be helpful for your organization right now?
Just, I guess, thank you to anybody who has supported us in the past. We would not be able to do this without community support. And if you are interested in getting a pet, we would love to have you get a pet from Pet Alliance. Our website has all of our information. All of our adoptable pets are on there. Our wish list, like we mentioned. Also, if you have a pet and you need to get vaccines or wellness checkup, you can come to our clinics, and we'd love to have you do that as well. Yeah. So sorry, we're like surprised.
No, that's okay. Live broadcast.
But so that's pretty much. Anything they want to find out, they can find out on our website, and we're here to serve you and your animals.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. My heart is just so full seeing those little animals, and I pray that they all get adopted like in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you enjoyed our last segment, supporting nonprofits in Central Florida. And of course, please go check them out if you're thinking about adopting, or if you need help with your pet food, please make an appointment with them. They're an amazing organization. Thanks again, Cathy.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Have a great Friday.